What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to the 10K to $2 million funding challenge on YouTube. Venator Trading here. It is Tuesday, October 24th at 7 a.m. New York time. It's good to be back with you. Hope you're having a great day. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world and tuning in right now. Hope your day's going well. And glad you're here with us. We are sitting in some really nice profits here on this GU trade that called out in Discord late last night, my time. And we got wicked in. Really nice entry. This was the full setup here. Run of liquidity. So it was really set up on this 1 hour time frame. Run of liquidity above these old highs. As it came back down, it fell to displace, but when it came back up, it fell to make a new high and then displaced lower through here, creating a breaker block and multiple fair value gaps along the way. I targeted this higher one for a pretty clean sniper entry. 50% of the fair value gap nested inside of the breaker here. And we got triggered in right at the London Open around 2 a.m. Popped up in there. It did dig up just a little bit higher. And then it's just been dropping off a cliff ever since through the whole London session. It does give us an opportunity. We're at break even on this trade right now. This is a risk-free trade. Our stop loss is sitting basically right there, just inside profits, just to cover the commissions. They have a higher commission on Think Markets there, so it's just past the break-even point. So we don't even lose money on if it were to come back up to entry here and reverse completely in New York. I do expect some kind of retrace here in New York. I don't know if we're going to run TP right now or if we're going to get a little bit of a pullback, maybe up into this breaker here, potentially. Maybe back up into this gap. Pound doesn't really have a great spot for me. I've looked at this. I don't really like trading these candles as breakers right here. I would probably be more inclined to reach up into one of these before it ran the liquidity here, here, and here. So potentially in here, but there's not a really good clean fair value gap. There's a tiny one right in there. So that's going to be a pretty deep pullback for New York to make. It would have to be aggressive here right at the open. And the way that the dollar's ripping off and the pound has shown so much weakness, I'm not sure you're going to get that deep of a pullback. Sometimes when you get these big fall off a cliff type moves or jump on rocket fuel, you don't get the pullback until a couple days later. I am anticipating it reaching down into this 30-minute sell side imbalance or buy side imbalance here. That will clear us into our TP. Hopefully that hits today. I don't really want to. I'm not a fan of holding these breaker blocks overnights. So we'll see if we can get it triggered in. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. Euro dollar definitely has a little bit of a cleaner identifying area for me to want to try to get into on a pullback. This breaker here, we ran liquidity once, twice, and then we displaced through. This breaker block right here is the one that I would be looking to trade on EU. Gets us back above this large move down, gets us back into a premium level of that. There's a fair value gap here on the 30-minute time frame right here. So this last down close candle, wham, we run it. You could use this one as well. It's a little bit of a deeper target. If you were going to use that one, to me, you're going to need to target right in the middle of that fair value gap. So something like that. But I just don't think if it's going to make that steep of a pullback, then this is a run of liquidity and your displacement is going higher. So this is run so far so fast. If it pulled this deeply back into New York, I don't think I would be anticipating another drop off of that. I mean, it could, but this would be, to me, this would look more like the run of liquidity, and then you're going to get displacement away if it's going to pull back that deep. So I would prefer, I mean, this one right here would probably be where I would want to, as deep as I would want to go on a New York session pullback. So, but even then, I'm not really feeling it. I'll look for another opportunity here. We'll see how it goes. This is the only place for me that I would consider taking an entry on EU here. Excuse me. And GU, maybe up in here, but we'll just have to wait and see. I think I would prefer it on the 30-minute time frame and maybe target I mean, technically you could use this big candle here, and then you've got your nice little 30-minute fair value gap sitting inside there. And you could just target a touch of that. And you could do something like that on your TP. So potentially could get another trade there. I might just put it above that order block and do that. So maybe I'll consider doing that. This is a risk-free trade. So even if, and what I would do is I would move the profit target, or the profit that the first trade that's in profit, I would move, instead of being at break even, I would move it into profit, the stop to the same level as this trade if it were to get triggered. And so it actually is limiting your overall risk for the day. You would lose your full 2% on this trade if the stop loss were to get hit, but this trade would be in profit. What is that? Let's say 42 pips, so 15 pips. So you would be reducing how much you lost on the day, I guess is the way to say that. Not a full 2%. It'd be like 1.75 or something like that. All right. Beeswax, LOL, and Sob, and Red Ezekiel, welcome into the chat, guys. Thanks for being here. For everyone else watching, jump in, say hi, let me know you're here. Can you do a quick check on the UJ setup I sent in Discord? Looking at UJ, let me go see what you're looking at here. You're on the 1 hour. I can pull it up. Here's UJ. So here's run of liquidity, last up close candle. Ran liquidity, ran it again, displaced through. This is where I would, if you're on the 1 hour time frame, I would be looking at this right here. You could use these three as breakers, and you could just pick one of these fair value gaps to use. Potentially here. Something like that. It's kind of how I think I would, if I was going to do look for UJ here, I'd probably want to see something like this. But it may not even want to dig that deep. It may just want to use this breaker right here. As if this, we're in this, we need this hourly. If you're going to frame this on the hourly, if you drop down to the 30-minute, let me see, 15. Yeah, I think what I would want to do is maybe use this right here. And then use, if you wanted to protect it a little bit more, you might move it down to that fair value gap, the stop, and then you just have a little bit of a steeper TP above these highs. This run of liquidity here. So it's kind of how I see UJ. So something like that. You've got these fair value gaps in here that you would be targeting for your entry on the 15-minute time frame. If you're wanting to, what that looks like on the 1 hour is right there. 1 hour may just use this breaker, and if this leaves a fair value gap behind as this hourly candle that we're inside closes, whatever that fair value gap is, it may just want to reach right into that one first and then run to buy side. That's kind of how I see that. Andy C, what's going on? Anon took that short on EU after the grab of the Asia high, but closed early, kicking myself in the balls. Why did you close early? You got to have rules on how to manage your trades, and you have to follow those rules. You cannot let your emotions dictate how you're going to manage your trades. You need to have a very clear set of rules in place that tell you exactly what you should do to enter a trade, where to put your stop loss, where to put your take profit, where to move to break even, when to close out a trade. You should have very specific rules set in place, and you must follow them. If you do not have that, you're never going to have an edge in the market. An edge in the market is built around a sustainable system, and your emotions is not a sustainable trading plan. Your emotions are fickle, and they change whether you're in profit or whether you're in drawdown or whether you're about to pass a challenge or whether you're about to reach a payout. Your emotions change depending on how much sleep you got or how much coffee or caffeine you've had. I mean, it's just insane to try to create a sustainable trading plan that is all about how you feel. The market doesn't give a crap about how you feel. The market is just going to move and deliver price efficiently. And your job is just to follow your rules. So write down your rules and follow them. And it doesn't matter if you've lost 2 in a row or 3 in a row or 4 in a row. It doesn't matter if you've won 2 in a row or 3 in a row or 4 in a row. Just follow the rules. It's all you have to do. That's your only job. That's your only job as a trader, is to manage your system. You are a systems process manager. That's all you are. The money will take care of itself. The profit and loss will take care of itself. Just manage your system. And if you don't have it written down, you have no system. If you can't tell me every rule that I just mentioned, then you don't have a system. Then you're just gambling. And you have to stop it. You have to stop it. There's no way to profitability other than true, like there's no way to long-term sustainable profitability outside of a clearly defined trading strategy and trade management system. That's it. That's you cannot, you're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. What's up, Mr. Partha G? Welcome in. Cisco, what's up? Chase. LOL, your emotion might also change on what kind of candle you use. That's right. Right, Ezekiel, 100%. You've got to have it written down, guys. You've got to. And then you've got to hold yourself accountable. You've got to hold yourself accountable. And whether that's in the Discord channel or whether that's, in some other form or fashion of, what is it that's going to keep you from breaking your rules? If you have a job, you have a boss. A boss is going to inflict consequences on you if you break the company's rules, if you're not doing your job the right way. They'll fire you, or they will, write you up, or they'll suspend you, or whatever it is. Like, you have consequences in real life for every other area that in which you break the rules. If there's no accountability, you're screwed. You've got to find some way. You've got to find someone that can, and if you can't do it yourself, if you're just like, I'm not going to be able to do this on my own, I need someone to hold me accountable, then find someone. Ask them, hey, every day I need you to ask me, or give them the trades to place and they place them for you if they meet all your rules. I had a friend who did that. They said, hey, here is my system. Not to me, but they did it with another trader. They said, here's my system. He gave his account credentials to another trader and said, I want you to place the trades that I send to you if they meet my trading criteria. And the other guy agreed to do it for like 3 months because this guy would send him the trades. The guy would look over his system. If it met all and checked off all the boxes, he would place the trades and then he would manage it the way his system said. And the guy didn't have to do anything. And it kept him out of, he didn't place the trades. He let someone else place the trades for him. And so that other trader did not place any trades on the account that didn't meet or follow the design system, because this guy just did not have the self-discipline to do it himself. He just kept going on revenge. He would go on tilt. And so he just decided, you know what? I'm going to take away my access to this trading account. I'm going to give it, I'm going to have someone else execute these trades for me. And their only job is to verify that the trade I'm taking is in line with these rules for my trading strategy. And he passed challenges and got funded. And I don't know if he's still doing that or not. I haven't talked to him in a while. But I think what it did was prove to him that it's just a matter of discipline. It really is. It's just a matter of discipline when it comes to trading. Sitting here watching, knowing exactly what you're waiting for, exactly what you're anticipating. And yeah, I mean, it's that simple. It really is that simple. I do like this GU setup here, this return into this breaker block here. Nice little fair value gap entry in line with this order block. So we'll see how that plays out here. I don't know if it's going to give us that deep of a pullback here. It may want to stop inside here first. It is in line with an OT of the last leg down, so we'll see. Yeah. Yeah, I think the GU setup makes the most sense to me here. It's the cleanest as far as a breaker that we could anticipate off of this to get a further move down. Yeah, I think I might set that up right there. What's up, Mohammed Saeem? Welcome in. Good evening, my friend. Cisco ICT can hold you accountable. Yeah, sure. Just message him, and he'll scream and yell at you, and call you all kinds of mean and ugly names. He definitely will do that. How are you trading today? Today has clustered news throughout the day. I took the day off from trading today. So this was a setup on the hourly time frame, and it is a breaker strategy, but I saw it as I was just doing analysis for my other system, and I thought that I would put it in the Discord, and I did, and did set the limit order, and used the news as the volatility itself to create the momentum for this trade. The trade itself was already set up. The logic behind the trade was already set up. The news is just what drove price through it. And here this morning now, all we have is flash PMI at like 10 o'clock for the dollar. So if we could get an entry here, a little pullback before then, I would be willing to take one more trade today. There's really nothing else. Let's see. Yeah, flash manufacturing at 9:45. So a couple more hours. Still anticipating. Again, I've been bullish dollar. I know we've been in a little bit of a pullback here on the dollar. I'm still been bullish on it. I still am anticipating some runs into this. I still think that this pink red box, whatever you want to call it, I still think we're going to go up into that. Before we come down, I think 108 is where we get to, which is this old swing high, this daily swing high up here. I think we get up to 108 before we make any further deeper, really big, deeper dives on the dollar here. There's just nothing else that would make me think that the dollar is just going to completely fall apart. Like there's nothing else in the socioeconomic world or news, or just, I mean, it's just inflation is still around. Like everything is still pointing towards the dollar still remaining strong. And until we get some higher time frame clarity, like this is just we had this massive run up, and you're getting just a couple of small little wicks, a small little pullback. It's taken out this swing low here and immediately rejected from a couple weeks ago. So I'm gonna remain bullish on the dollar. So any pullbacks we get here, I'm gonna be anticipating some returns up. And any pullbacks we get here, obviously, will get us back up into this order block, this area here. So really nice, clean liquidity sitting up there that it will probably want to run into. So we're going to trade off of any kind of pullback here. That's all we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and get this. Let's see here. I think this was on the 30-minute. I blocked that out. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is look for just a retest of this small little fair value gap there. Put my stop up of that. And my TP would be we can keep the TP somewhere right here. And then I'm going to drop, if it gets triggered, I'll drop that other TP all the way down. I mean, the other stop loss, I'll line it up. All right, so this entry here is 224.58, 226.72, and 219.74. I'm basically just going to line it up with about the same TP as the original trade, so it'll go a little bit further than 1 to 2 there if we can get triggered in. All right, so I'm going to copy that out. All right. I think GU on this 4-hour time frame eventually will refill this 4-hour fair value gap right here. So we'll see how that plays out, but that's the order we've got set up here for our New York session, and see how it plays out. For GJ, if it pulls back up above this high into this breaker, there's not really a clean fair value gap. And in fact, it kind of already retested this little fair value gap inside this breaker here or this breaker here. So if it came back up there, I don't know if I would sell GJ again just yet, but and I'm going to LOL, I'm not in good mood now. I got hunted on overnight trade that almost hit my TP. I posted it on general chat. Sorry about that, man. It happens, dude. You get, guys, you're not, don't get wrecked when you lose a trade. Like there's no reason to get all beat up. You're going to lose trades. You're going to lose a lot of trades. I lose probably about half of the trades I take. It's just part of the process. You cannot, losing is just what happens in this business. So you've got to get super comfortable with taking losses. You have to get comfortable with taking losses. You cannot just get so junked up and let it ruin your day because you took a loss. If that's happening, you're probably over leveraging. You probably have too much on the line. If taking a loss is really going to mess you up and just kind of put you in a bad mood or whatever it is, you're just probably have too much on the line. Yeah, I don't know how else to say that. It's just, it doesn't make much more sense than to think that if you're getting that emotional after a loss. And I'm not saying you are. I know people who do, though. And just lower the leverage that you use, lower the risk per trade to a place that when you take the loss, you don't care. There's no rush to this. I think everybody gets so caught up in this idea of, I just need to do it fast. I need to do it so fast. I need to be able to finish these challenges in 2 days or 5 days or a week. And you've seen me do them pretty quickly when we hit our winners. We finish these challenges pretty quickly. And when we're in drawdown, we can manage our drawdown for months at a time before anything drastic happens, like hitting our drawdown limit. You want to be able to pass challenges quickly, and you want to be able to not fail them. You should not be failing them quickly. It would take me a long time. It takes me a long time to fail challenges, typically. But I can pass them pretty quickly. But you see me do something like that, and you see me taking 2% risk, and I've told you, you should not be risking 2% if you don't have the data, if you don't know how to trade your strategy, if you don't know what your maximum losing streak is over 100 trades in the live market, not back testing, a live market forward testing, 100 trades. If you don't have that information, you should only be risking 0.5% to maybe 1%. 1% is probably, even that may be a little aggressive if you don't have that data. I have the data. I know exactly what my win rate is. It sits between just over 50% to upwards of 60%. So it averages around 55%, averages. So I know what my win rate is. And that's why I can take, and I know what my maximum losing streak is all during that time. I've never lost more than 4 trades in a row. So this is why I'm comfortable with the risk management that I have. And it plays out perfectly over time. But if you do not have that information, you should not be risking that large of an amount. You should be, you should not be risking that large of an amount. Lower your risk. You'll feel better. You'll be able to look at a stop loss get hit, and you'll be like, eh. And that's how it should feel. Eh. And if it feels anything more than that, it's so funny. Y'all know I'm a Christian, and there's a verse in the Bible that says, "Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." And basically what that means is what you give your money to is where your heart is inclined to, it's what your heart is inclined to value more and more. So if you want to, you can tell me what your values and your priorities are, but let me see your bank account. Let me see where you're spending your money. I'll tell you where your heart and your values are. So what does that mean for trading? Well, it just means that if you're feeling this angst and this sadness and this despair when you're losing these trades, your heart is so invested in that small amount that losing it is crushing you. It's hurting you. It's wounding your soul. And that just tells me that you're placing too high a value on the money that you're making. Money is not everything. The number that's in your bank account right now is not your value as a person. It does not define you. However much money you have in your bank account right now, whatever that number is, that is not a definition of your value as a human, as a person, as a husband, a brother, a son, a friend, whatever it is. That is not your value. Your bank account does not determine your worth. But so many people are wrapped up in that if I don't have a certain number in my bank account, then I'm not successful. I'm not okay. I'm not a high value man or woman. Like it, you get so caught up and your heart gets drawn to the dollar signs, and you see other traders living the life on Instagram or wherever, and you start chasing this false idea that this money's going to make you happier, or yeah. I know I'm getting off on a tangent that doesn't necessarily have to do with trading, but ultimately it really does, because it's the emotional side of this that's messing so many people up, and the emotions are tied to where your heart is. And if your heart is given towards, I've got to be rich, you're chasing a mirage. You keep thinking that if I can just get to that mirage, if I can just get to that water that I see out there, then I'm going to be fine. Then I'll be able to survive this desert that I'm in. And it's not true. It's not true. So we don't need to love money so much. Love trading. Learn to love trading. Learn to love getting better at this. Learn to love becoming a better technical analyst. Learn to love becoming just an enjoyer of how price moves and market structure and price action. And when your focus changes from making money to just being a good executor of a trading system, there's something that will click inside of you, in your mind, in your heart, that the money doesn't matter anymore, and it's just identifying and executing good setups over and over and over and over and over again. And everything, the money will take care of itself long term, but when you focus on the money, you're never going to get it. When you focus on the money, you're never going to get it. It's going to constantly elude you, because your heart is deceitful, and it will self-sabotage and will keep you from what you want most, when that's your ultimate goal. So I know that didn't really have anything, that whole little rant there had nothing to do really about trading, but it does have to do with psychology and mindset and true motivation for why you're doing what you're doing in the first place. Anand says, can we say we printed the high of the week on Forex and low of the week on dollar? Potentially, yeah. I mean, most of the time, what is it, like 70% of the time or 75% of the time, the high of the week is during the London session on Tuesday. Could be the high of the week right there, for sure. I don't know. I mean, you don't know until the week is over. But I mean, if you're just trading statistics and probabilities, then that's definitely could be the likelihood of it. What's up, H? JewFX, good afternoon and evening. Welcome in. Andy C, reducing my risk to 0.25% changed my whole game. Yep. That right there, Andy, would help so many traders. Just get comfortable with managing trades and following rules. When you're just risking that, you don't care whether it wins or loss, because you know that your account's safe by risking 0.25%. No matter, even if you went on a 10 trade losing streak, you're still only down, what, 4% at 0.25% each? No, it'd be like 2% or 2.5%. That's nothing. That's nothing. So yeah, reducing that risk makes a massive difference. LOL, the thing is getting stopped out doesn't make me feel bad, but the profit I was going to make does. But see, you didn't have profits. They were never your profits. It's just the trade. It's never yours until you close out. So accept the risk as soon as you go in. As soon as you identify it, as soon as you can see an execution, just accept the risk of it and then go in and take it and be done. Classic Venator's back. Really miss this type of talk. Thanks, Saeem. Yeah, I mean, we still get into rants. We like to have fun, but man, I mean, sometimes you just get into. Sometimes you just got to say the things you got to say. What's up, Corey? Welcome in, bud. I don't think traders do enough internal work. Truly, I don't. I don't think traders do enough internal work. They don't do enough, I would call it deep work, soul work, where you really get into what is driving you. What are your true motivations? And where are those, what is that rooted in? Because the more you do that, the more you realize and quickly understand how, like, what you thought was driving you typically is not what truly is driving you. It's often just rooted in greed or pride or envy, and what you think you need or want isn't really the thing that will satisfy your soul in the long run. And we buy into the lies that the culture tells us, that we have to have X amount of dollars in our bank account. We have to have live in a house that costs, and live in this house in this specific neighborhood, or we have to drive this specific kind of car, or we have to take this amount of vacations, or be able to go on this trip. We've got to wear this kind of watch and wear these kinds of clothes. And those are the things that the world looks to say you're successful. And that's a big bunch of crap, man. It is a big bunch of crap. That is not ever going to make you happy. And if that's what you're using to define success, you're never going to get there, because the world will change the definition on you constantly. You've got to define for yourself. You first of all, you've got to find something else besides trading that's going to define what your identity is. Who are you as a person? What drives you and motivates you as a person? Not even as a trader. Then you can really start leaning into understanding why you want to do one job over a different job. And if trading is the job you want to do, your identity as a person and your worth and your self-confidence, all of those things, they're not wrapped up in trading. They're wrapped up in something much more bigger than trading. For me, that's my relationship with God. That's my spiritual life. That's my walk with God. That's it. My identity comes from who God says that I am, not what my bank account says, not what this profit and loss says, not what this trade, not what happens with this trade or the next trade or this account or the next account. Who I am has nothing to do with what's going on this screen right here. And as soon as I begin to make this become the definition of success in my life, I'm screwed. I'm absolutely screwed, because I'll never reach it, because there will always be something else or someone else or some other account that I will be chasing or trying to pursue. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to be the best at what it is that you do. I definitely believe you should, but my emotions are way easier to manage when I'm trading, when I understand where my true self-worth lies, and it's not in what happens here on this screen. Who I am, who God says that I am, who I am as a husband, who I am as a father, who I am as a friend. Those are all so much more important in defining my value as a man than the number of dollars I have in my bank account. Look at Aussie dollar. Yeah, let me go pull up Aussie dollar. I had CAD up. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Do this. Aussie ran liquidity here, displaced through, didn't really come back down to a fair value gap, has displaced above here. Let's see, what do we see? Ran liquidity, displaced. There's a breaker here. I mean, I don't. This probably would have been the best entry on Aussie dollar as it pulled back into this fair value gap off of this breaker here. If I'm looking at the 31 hour, let's see. Yeah. 15-minute. If you're wanting to go short, if you're going to be bullish dollar, you're going to be expecting a short here. I would have wanted to see displacement through this low, I think, to go short. We've run buy side. The displacement for me would need to be below this level here. Let me take these off. If you're wanting to go short, I would want to see displacement through this level here. Let's see. Yeah, that 30-minute time frame. You could use this 30-minute candle. I would want to see displacement through that candle right there on Aussie dollar. Displace through, leave a fair value gap, and try to get an entry in here, and then target some liquidity below here. Muhammad says there are political and geographical changes that affects market. The more I stay, the more I think that I know very less. Yeah, I try not to. There's so many factors that make the market move, and I'm not one of them. I think I've said this before. I've used this analogy quite a bit. But I'm like a surfer in the ocean. The market is the ocean, and I'm just a surfer. And sometimes I'm going to catch perfect waves. Sometimes I'm going to go out and I'm not going to see any waves, or at least not catch a wave that I can ride. And then sometimes I'm going to catch a wave, and then it's just going to wreck me, and it's going to throw me off the board altogether. And I just get back on the board and I paddle back out and I wait for the next wave. And I'm just always trying to see where the next wave is coming. That's it. That's all I'm doing. And I'm going to catch some waves and I'm going to ride them all the way in. And I'm going to catch some waves and I'm going to have a little bit of a run, and then I'm going to fall. And then I'm going to miss some waves altogether because either I'm not paying attention, or I was in the wrong spot at the wrong time. And then sometimes I'm going to catch a wave that just completely trashes me and my board. And that's just the way trading is. The market is the ocean. It's not going anywhere. The waves are constantly coming in, and it's just my job to try to find the wave that I can ride. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do. So I don't try to make the ocean do what I want it to do. I'm just sitting out there on my little board waiting for my turn. And I just try to get better every day at it, a little bit better every day at identifying where that next wave will come, when it will come, and where it will show up, and how to put myself in a position to try to catch that wave. What's up, Shadow? Welcome in. Good evening. If you guys would go ahead and click that like button for me on the YouTube stream, that does help. Does help the algorithm. It does help get the word out to other traders who might find some value in what we do here every single day. We're sponsored by Bespoke Funding Program. I did forget to mention that at the top of the hour. Bespoke Funding Program. Big fan. Big fan. If you're looking to pick up a challenge, start a new challenge, or the next challenge that you decide to take when you're ready to, definitely use Bespoke. Give them a shot. Use that discount code that you see down on the bottom right-hand corner, Venator. When you check out, it will give you a 15% off coupon and 85% profit split. And when you do use that discount code, it does, we do get a small commission off of those orders. And that is one way that you can help support the stream here. And it keeps paying the bills. I'm going to get up every day and I'm going to stream, whether this stream is sponsored or not. But I've said from the beginning, if I could figure out a way to monetize the stream, I'm going to. And the fact that the firm that I trade with and that I love trading with wants to be a sponsor of this was just icing on the cake, and it does help monetize it a little bit. So every little bit helps. Clicking that like button is one way, or you can use that discount code or use the affiliate link in my YouTube description. If you would, sometimes Bespoke runs discounts that are a little bit better than that 15% off. I think they have a 17.5% off right now. And your first payout is a 90% or something. I can't remember what it is. You can go look on their Discord and find out. But either use the discount code Venator or you can use that affiliate link that I have in my YouTube channel. And it helps support the stream here. Do you have the codes of the market's algorithm? Only the author has those codes. Oh, that's awesome. The codes of the market algorithm. Look, it's true that there are trading companies and proprietary firms that use algorithms to trade with, no doubt. Quant traders. They, whether it's high frequency trading or whether it's just they've turned over their trading to computers to execute positions, to manage liquidity. So I definitely believe that there are traders who use computers and algorithms completely to trade their accounts. Now, how actually price gets delivered by central banks or liquidity providers, whether that's controlled by an algorithm, I don't know. And I don't really care. Quite honestly, I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. I have a very clear understanding of how I see the markets, and I have a clear understanding of how and why I understand price to move and deliver itself efficiently to the marketplace. And whether that's controlled by the algorithm or whether we, and not even we, but actual people that have actual money in the actual market, if them collectively is the algorithm, then whatever you want to call it, cool. Fine. There's an algorithm. It's the collective nature of humanity trading. The author is selfish. Nothing hidden on this earth will be revealed to those who seek. Oh, nothing hidden on this earth. It will be revealed to those who seek. Yeah, just keep looking, man. I need to get a job in the central bank. Yeah, that would be nice. Just have your own money printing machine at your disposal that you can just go into your bank account and just add as many zeros as you want to it. That'd be kind of cool. Where in the world does that ever make sense except in government? No other entity or business or person can just add money to their account at will, except the central bank of your country. They can just say, yep, we've got more money now. He created the algorithm after he invented the forward pass, but before he climbed Mount Everest in his pajamas. Sounds about right. That sounds about right. UJ coming back down into leaving behind a little fair value gap right here on this hourly time frame. So we'll see what UJ wants to do. UJ's been in such a massive consolidation. There's nothing interesting here for me on UJ. I wouldn't want to trade UJ right now. Yen pairs are, I mean, it just depends. There's GJ moves typically pretty well, although it's been this massive uptrend on GJ. There we go. Just look at this consolidation on GJ. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. Here we go. Massive uptrend, and now we're just kind of consolidating inside after, I don't know, a few months, several months of just, you could just buy GJ basically at any point and probably make money on those trades. And now we're into an area now where it's just very choppy in there. Kind of back into the top of the range. Not sure if it's going to want to go. It's just right in the middle of this weekly mess. The last 5 weeks, it's just right back inside of all that range. So not a high probability trading condition in my opinion. I am in a trade. I'm in this GU trade here. The very first, this larger block we called out overnight on Discord. We set a limit order and we got tagged in during London, and it's been dropping ever since. I do have another trade here set up for New York session. I have an entry placed inside this smaller box, but I'm not sure we're going to get that entry. It may just want to run TP on our first trade, and we may just be done for the day. It did. This is the breaker. It reached right this up close candle. Once it displaced through, it came back up into this breaker right here. You can see the top of this wick is inside the wick of this breaker block right here. These two candles together are breaker block. There's a little volume imbalance right here. I was hoping that it might come back up one more time, and it still might. Before it runs that TP, it still might come back up into that volume imbalance, maybe wick us in. It should stay below this 30-minute order block right here. This up close candle, this two down close candles, this creates a bearish order block, and price should stay below there for the rest of the day. And not steady this week. It's okay, Shadow. Man, you're going to have good weeks and bad weeks. It's part of it. John, seriously, he's the king of red flags. ICT's house sigil should be a red flag with a bunch of red flags on the border and the word dose. John is not a fan of ICT. What did he do to you, John? Show me where he hurt you. Astros season is over, sadly. Last night, the Texas Rangers, we went to Game 7, which is fine. You know, I didn't think we would even be in the playoffs this year, so quite honestly, that we made it all the way to Game 7 of the American League Championship was good for them. But they laid an egg. They were up 3-2. They only had to win one of the last 2 games, and they got their butts kicked both games here in Houston to make it even worse. So Astros are done for the season. So they'll head off to Cancun and the Bahamas and the Virgin Islands for the next couple months, and then they'll be back in February for spring training. So it was a fun season, but it's over. All good things must come to an end, and the Astros season is one of those. So, all right, into the 8 o'clock hour here, you can see we've left behind a nice little fair value gap here on this hourly breakthrough. So on this hourly setup right here, this would be your hourly breaker. This down close candle right here, the one that's currently highlighted, this down close candle is the last down close candle before we ran buy side liquidity. We get displacement through right here. We've created a fair value gap right up inside there, and this tiny little order block as well. So I'm hoping that price will want to come back up inside there. I'm using this 30-minute on a lower time frame and this fair value gap as my entry that's in line with that order block as well. So again, and price may not want to come back up. It with such an aggressive drop, you'll just get one candle pullbacks, and then you'll get a big deep run, and then you'll get a one candle pullback, and then you'll get a big deep run. So we may not get our New York entry today. Hold on, my dog wants out. Just 1 second. I was really hoping we could get a second entry today here in the New York session. I was really kind of hoping we'd get a little bit of a pullback, and we could stack our positions, because we're risk free on the top position, which allows me to take another position. And very rarely do I get an entry here on the stream. Very rarely do I get an entry at London and then again in New York. But when you get those, you want to try to take advantage of them, because you could pull an 8% profit day on one move, which would be pretty cool. But it's happened before. I've done that before, but it doesn't happen often. And I believe me, I'm not going to be upset if we hit our TP and I pull in a full. This TP is 21874, which is actually down here. Is that right? Yeah. This is the TP on the top trade. See you, Saeem. Haven't seen any more pictures from Mr. Alfie over in Rome. Hope he's doing okay. Surely miss those dad jokes. Somebody's going to have to step up and do some dad jokes on behalf of Mr. Alfie. John says, put these people in order of narcissism. Oh, boy. ICT at the top of the list, the most narcissistic of all. Trump. Don't disagree. Pretty narcissistic guy. Kanye West. I don't know if he's narcissistic. I think Kanye West is really more just kind of crazy. I don't know that it's narcissism. Napoleon Bonaparte and Oprah. I mean, your list is fairly accurate. I don't know that ICT is the most narcissistic person. I don't know that he's more so than Trump. Trump is pretty narcissistic. Shane Gillis is a comedian who absolutely does the best Donald Trump impersonations. Shane Gillis. Look him up on YouTube, TikTok, whatever. You will laugh your butt off. He absolutely kills the Donald Trump impression. It's like perfect. And he's just a funny dude in general anyway. So if you just need a freaking good laugh, Shane Gillis, highly recommend you check him out. You'll love the Donald Trump stuff that he does. It's awesome. No, you put those in order. That's just the list. Oh, well, I thought you said put these people in order. I thought put these people. I didn't realize that was you were telling me to do that as much as that was your statement. In order of narcissism, probably. Well, I don't know about Napoleon Bonaparte as much. I mean, obviously I know who he is, but I've never done a deep dive into the guy's psyche. So I don't know really where to put him. Kanye West, I would probably put at the bottom of the list only because, like I said, I think he's more crazy. I think he's mentally unwell more than he is narcissistic. Now, his mental unwellness may come out in forms of narcissism, but I don't think it's rooted in that. So probably Napoleon Bonaparte would be at the bottom of the list. And then, only because I don't know. And then Kanye, maybe above Napoleon, and then maybe Oprah, and then probably ICT, and then probably Trump. Trump's probably the most narcissistic on that list for sure, at least currently. There's no one that wants to hear his name said or spoken more. And who truly believes he's the savior of the world. I'm trying to figure out right now, just to change the subject and get into some more conspiracy theory stuff, because I love talking about conspiracy theories. Not that I necessarily believe them, but I think they're fascinating to think about. Will there be an election next year? You can see how much people in power don't want to lose power, and how far they are willing to go to remain in power. Will there be an election next year? It is an election year in the United States. What is it that they are orchestrating right now in world events that could be so devastating or bad that they would be like, you know what, we just can't do elections right now? I know there's a whole, I'm sure there's a whole Reddit subthread somewhere all about this topic. I don't know if you guys have thought about it or not, but U.S. is up for an election next year. It looks like Trump will be the Republican nominee. I'm not sure what the Democrats are going to do. I would be shocked if they try to run Biden again, just because, I mean, the dude can barely walk, man. I think I told you about that shirt I saw on Instagram, or a joke that I saw, but somebody made one of those presidential election shirts where it's like, Bush, Cheney, or whatever, or, Obama, Biden. And it was like, anybody under 70, 2024. Anybody not retired. Anybody that should be living in retirement in their golden years on a beach or in a retirement home should not be running our countries. Did y'all see the news, by the way? I saw this yesterday, reported on Twitter, unverified, of course. But did anybody see the news about Vladimir Putin being found unresponsive in his room or something like that, but then he regained consciousness or something? Did anybody see that news article or that story reported on Twitter? Was I the only one who saw that? That was yesterday or last night it came out. I didn't know if anybody else had. Again, I don't necessarily believe it. I'm just saying I saw it. There's a lot of times I remember when Kobe Bryant died. It was, what was it? It was at New Year's, or it was over a holiday, Thanksgiving or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, Christmas. But I can remember someone around our dinner table at the time was like, Kobe Bryant just died in a helicopter crash. I was like, fake news, didn't happen. And for like the next hour, people were like, oh no, this isn't true. This is a joke. It's a hoax. And then no, it actually turned out to be true. Like you're going to hear things in the news that shock you, that you don't believe because they're so shocking, but stuff happens. Like those real things do happen. I just didn't know if anybody else had read it. It was like, there's a Twitter follow called Unusual Wells. And this guy basically created this account to track U.S. government officials who have insider information, and they make millions of dollars trading the stock market off of insider information they have as senators and congressmen. So it's called Unusual Wells. These guys who go into Congress, who go into politics, and they make, $100K a year, and their net worth when they get into Congress is like, maybe $1 million. And then by the time they leave Congress, their net worth is like $200 million after like 9 or 10 years. But Unusual Wells is the Twitter account that I was watching, and he reported, I believe it was Unusual Wells. I would have to go verify that. I'm not going to do it right now, but that Vladimir Putin he had seen reports that Vladimir Putin had been found unresponsive and then regained consciousness. The dude's like 72 years old too, so he's not a spring chicken anymore either. I know there's been questions, a lot of questions about his health in the past. Long shot RFK. I mean, there's a lot of cool things about RFK that I've heard him say, but there's a lot of stuff that I'm just like, anybody outside of Trump and Biden is probably a long shot. I guess the Democrats' next best candidate might be Gavin Newsom from California, but I just don't see. Of course, you've got Hillary Clinton. You've got Michelle Obama. I've heard her name tossed out as a potential candidate to run for the Democrats if they're not going to put Biden back in. Biden keeps saying he's running, and I just don't see it, man. I just don't know how they would want to put him back up there, but we'll see. Sounds like Al Gore. Significantly more wealthy now than when he first started in the Senate. Yeah. All these guys, man. Multi-millionaires from being in Congress and Senate, which it was never, ever intended to be that. Ever. It's just so gross. I'm a huge fan of term limits. I think if you run for a political office, a public office, you should only be allowed a certain amount of time in that office, and then you need to step aside and get out of there. Otherwise, you become so ingrained and enslaved to the power with which you hold that you don't ever want to give it up. Dunamis, he can barely walk, so how's he going to run? True enough. True enough. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to get our entry hit here on GU. I mean, we still have plenty of time. I'll leave this trade open up until probably 9:30. I don't know that I want to get into it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll just see where it's at. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 more 15-minute candles. So we could still get a pullback here. Oh. Nice caps. All right, what else? What else we get to talk about today? Oh man, I feel a sneeze coming on. Let's see. Let me go. Have any hunts lined up for this year? No, I'm not going hunting anytime this year. There's too much stuff going on. We're trying to figure out what we're gonna do with family holiday stuff because now we've got my 2 oldest are married, and so everybody's trying to figure out holiday plans now for Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of where our attention is right now is where's everybody going to be? Are we all going to be able to be together? All that kind of stuff. Well, Let me look and see. This 4-hour candle is about to close. So if the next 4-hour candle opens and gives us a top wick, might wick us in. And then we could come down. I imagine it may want to leave a little fair value gap in there, though. I don't know that it's going to want to pull back that deep. We'll see. Look at this monthly candle. We're coming in. We've only got 1 week left in this monthly candle here. I mean, I don't know what. So we've got Tuesday today. We got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Monday, Tuesday next week. So we've only got 5 more trading days, and here's your monthly candle. So maybe, Tron liquidity, still this fair value gap down here. This weekly bullish order block is where we're trading inside of and stalling out at currently. Displaced right down through that and broke it. So that could be a monthly breaker right here inside this fair value gap, inside this monthly breaker to send price lower. As John would say, at least I want to get this out here this time. I think I need to go see a man about a horse, not a dog. I think it's horse. Give me just a minute. I'll be right back. All right, John. I got something for you. Went to see a man about a horse, and while I was in there, I saw this Twitter guy dissing ICT, and I was like, "Oh, John will like this." See if you agree with all this, John.
ICT is one of the biggest larps in the trading industry. All he has done is repackaged support and resistance as order blocks and fill void gaze. He's also a shit trader. There's been countless of occasions where he's tried to call the market and it's gone terribly wrong. And this is the exact reason why you never see a chart posted by him beforehand. It's always after, oh, look at me, look at the profit on my demo account. His ego is through the roof with nothing to prove apart from fake MT4 withdrawals. And he's so emotional as well. No real trader is that emotional. If you watch some of his spaces, he's screaming like a little bitch.
No more. There's two dicks out there running around saying they could beat my ass in trading. Fucker! Motherfucker! I'm right fucking here! Why the fuck am I still waiting on you, bitch?
And I've never seen a good trader scream like a little bitch like that. He's a fat American. And he steals ideas as well. You think the market maker's sell and buy model is all him? No, it fucking ain't. Fucking Wyckoff done it a long, long time ago. ICT is just repackaging his shit up, and little kids have lapped it up because they are naive. If you weren't so naive, you wouldn't be following this LARP. And to top it all off, he's godless. He said God doesn't exist and all religion is bad. And for this, what does that lead to? This scumbag has no morals. He doesn't give a fuck about you. You can't message him. You can't ask him anything about his concept or anything like that. He's an emotional crybaby. Fuck ICT. ICT is one of the biggest larps in the trading industry. All he has done.
John, I think you found your brother from another mother on Twitter just now. Just saw him. Yeah, there he is. Oh boy. There's people, I mean, you either absolutely are in the ICT cult family and he can do no wrong. There's very few people I feel like are neutral. I'm fairly neutral on him. And then there's people that absolutely just hate the guy. Hate the guy. Just so interesting to hear. He says he's only got a couple more weeks left on Twitter and YouTube, and then he's gone. He's going to disappear. And I think he's already tweeted he's coming back in February or something. Dude hates him. I don't hate him. Yeah, I don't hate the guy. I think there's a lot of his concepts that just make sense to me. And he's the first person who explained them in a way that I was like, I understand, like I can wrap my head around that concept.
All right, John.
Oh wow, what happened? Oh, my other phone started burning. So I appreciate what he's done for the trading community, but there's a lot of fault. I'm definitely like, there's a lot of stuff that you got to be careful of with him. For a person to lose his energy to spit words like that, that guy has lost energy. Focus on your life, dude. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, there's people that hate him so much that they feel like they have to make videos like that to go on and discredit him so vehemently. It's kind of sad. Like, can we just trade? Can we just trade? Can we just sit here and watch price action and tell dad jokes to each other? Because that's way more fun. Still no dad jokes in the chat today. I'm sorely disappointed by that. Man, market has just kind of gone quiet here. Didn't really get any kind of New York pullback at all. Just started right at that 7 o'clock hour we did, and then it's just trickled down. We haven't had the displacement lower like we had through London. So yesterday's a low still in place down here. These relative equal lows down here. I don't know that we get there today, but it definitely looks like that's where the draw on liquidity wants to be. If you're looking at a market maker sell model, the smart money reversal, you get a pullback, and then you're going to run at least these lows, maybe down into these. But nice to be in the profitable side of this move here. I was going to tell a joke about a broken pencil, but it was pointless. Thank you. There we go. Dunamis coming in. Thank you. Nicely done, sir. John Dew's doing it for the likes. Oh, for sure. He's definitely, he's trying to capitalize on the anti-ICT crowd, for sure. Get those clicks on that video. All right, we'll stay on here for about another 15 minutes or so, and then we may call it a day. Diarrhea is hereditary. It runs in your genes. I appreciate the dad joke combo with the poop joke. It's always two winners, and when you put them together, you for sure have a winning joke. The dad joke with the poop joke stacked. It's nicely done. The goal is I'm here to make money, not to produce haters. I'm not here to produce anything except stacking accounts. That's really all I'm here to do. And hopefully I do it in a way that brings value to people along the way. And I'm not here, I guess the thing I have going for me is that I'm not here to convince you to use my system or my strategy. I'm not here to tell you the strategy you're using is wrong or incorrect. Because in my experience, I've gone through so many systems and strategies that in the end, it comes down to being about the trader more than it is about the trading strategy. So whatever strategy you click with and makes sense to you, you have my blessings. Go for it. Dunamis ragging him up today, man. R.I.P. Boiling Water. You will be missed. All right, here we're getting a little bit of a movement down now. See how price reacts as it dips into this fair value gap right here. we'll see how it does. See, currently we'll be back to break even. Let's see. $454.08. 4. Yeah, we'll be slightly into profits if we can hit TP on this. Wipe out that 4% drawdown, hopefully. 33% win rate keeps you at break even on my system. So we'll see how it plays out. I'm going to leave this second limit order in place until probably right around 9:30. If we're not triggered in by 9:15, 9:30, I'll take it out. What do I have? I think I've got to, where do I got to be? Do I have to be somewhere this morning? For my job? I do, but yeah, we'll go 15 more minutes. We'll get up to the top of the hour. I guess that's 20 minutes. Gosh. Golly. Just scrolling Twitter. This is the boring part of trading. I'm sitting here almost in 4% profits, and I'm just like, I have nothing to do. What do you call a deer with no eyes? I don't know, man. No idea. Well played. What do you call a deer with no eyes or no legs? Still no idea. IDK? Every time I ask, they say, I don't know. So I see Funding Pips. Funding Pips is another prop firm. They've just unbanned their Pakistan traders. Why is it that certain countries have been banned from almost every prop firm? Pakistan, what is it, Vietnam, or I can't remember where other. There's always, it's always like a couple of countries, like they just don't allow any traders from those specific. What is it with traders in those countries that they're so, that they just want to scam as much as they can? Like, why? What is the problem? Why is it always those countries? I don't understand it. Arbitrage, maybe it. Hedging, could be. Watching candles print. What a fun live stream. Make sure you keep those Discord notifications on, because hopefully some of you saw that and were able to participate in that GU trade with me. I've not heard the candle sales pitch for a few days. Oh, dude. It's been going all morning, my friend. Teakwood Oak, Leo Ben Candle Company. The best smelling candle in the world. I know, it's a high claim. But I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. You can trust me. I'm a reliable spokesperson. Teakwood and Oak. Come on, camera. Work. There it is. Teakwood and Oak. From the Leo Ben Candle Company. I highly recommend. It's been going all morning. I light it up now as soon as I get in the office. And I'm kind of, it's like halfway down. Like we've gone through half of that candle. And I'm kind of sad about it. Because I know it's coming to an end. All of the amazing, comforting, content scent coming from this candle it will not last forever. I'm going to have to buy another one. You can gift me a Teakwood and Oak candle if you would like. There's a super chat is available on the YouTube live stream. If you'd like to donate to the, if Leo Ben is not going to sponsor the stream, I'm still waiting for the Leo Ben emails, by the way. I don't think anyone has reached out to them and told them how good of a spokesperson I am and how much they should think about investing into the Venator $10K to $2 million funding challenge live stream. Maybe if some of my faithful followers would reach out to them, we could get everybody a Teakwood and Oak candle to enjoy as well. It really does smell amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right. Price is finally moving down. About to tap into this 30-minute fair value gap. Part of me really, really wants to hold this to Monday's low. But I'm going to follow my rules and take my 1 to 2, get back above break even and wipe out this drawdown. The second position TP is just about to get crossed through here. And that would, I'm probably going to go ahead and kill that order. We have news coming out in less than an hour. I'd rather just delete that. So we're going to take that off. I'll leave this breaker block up for now, but I'm going to go ahead and kill that. So this hourly candle is displacing and closing below. So I think this next hourly candle should open, maybe push up a little bit, but we should get another drop down into this fair value gap. It's inside the hourly fair value gap, but the 30-minute is the one that I'm wanting it to dig at least 50% of the way through that. Euro dollar is aggressively tanking. Not going to get that deep pullback as expected. I wasn't expecting it to get that far back on that breaker. You gotta have other entry opportunities when it makes that big of an impulsive run after liquidity's been grabbed. You gotta have a different way to enter. Sometimes it's just the first fair value gap that's created, or the last fair value gap that's created, I guess. That would have been right there. GU didn't get back up into this fair value gap. On the 15, did it? Yeah, there's a couple there it did. Got to the first one, pulled away. Four more minutes on this 4-hour candle to close. And we'll see. So want to pop up and come down, or does it want to just come down and then pop up? I'm not really sure yet, but of course, you're never sure about anything in trading. Did you get him? Did you scare him away? The murderer outside, Maggie? Good job. Thank you. Thank you for keeping us safe. Yeah, big girl. Jeez, man. She sounds scary. She's really not. See you, John. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Hopefully this thing hits TP in the next, 15, 30 minutes or so. I'll throw a picture up on Discord and Twitter if it does, of course. And hopefully we can knock this drawdown out today and be done back to break even on phase 2. So that'd be nice. Thanks for jumping in on the stream today. We'll be back again tomorrow, Wednesday, 7 a.m. So follow me on Twitter. Jump over in the Discord, post your ideas. Let's chat over there. Drop your dad jokes or your memes. We're always up for a good laugh. But enjoy the rest of your day. You guys stay safe, happy hunting, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Adios.